Hello everyone, welcome to Best Recipes with Sharon. Today we're going to be making some special Christmas cookies, so stay with me and we'll enjoy this together. So this is a soft sugar cookie with buttercream frosting. It has great taste and it's really easy to make. You can keep it simple or make it a little bit more complicated. So come with me to the kitchen and we'll get started on this. So let's get out all of our ingredients and we'll get right to making this. Alright, start by adding half a cup of softened butter to the mixing bowl. Also add half a cup of white sugar. And then half a cup of confectioner's sugar. Next, we're going to add 2 large eggs. And here I used the paddle attachment to mix this all together. And you'll need to cream this together for probably a good minute or so. And now that it's all mixed together well, we'll stop and add about a half a cup of sour cream. And then 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And also 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla. And then half a teaspoon of pure almond extract. And finally, about 3 cups of all-purpose flour. And mix that all together until it forms a soft dough. And then continue mixing for another 30 seconds or so. And you can see here what the dough looks like. It'll be soft and slightly sticky. Here we can spoon half of the dough onto a floured surface. And this will just give you room to roll it out and roll the other half out separately. I'm doing that on top of some parchment paper. I'll add about a tablespoon of flour. And I will knead it until it's not so sticky. Sprinkle a little more flour on the parchment paper, place the dough down on that, and add another piece of parchment paper on top. Use a large piece of parchment paper so that you can secure the edges and lean against it, and it makes it easier to roll it out. Roll the dough to about 3/8 of an inch thick. And I continued to smooth it out with my hand a bit. Remove the top piece of parchment paper. Get your cookie cutters and you're ready to start cutting. Line a cookie sheet with parchment paper, and here we're cutting it in about 2.5 inch rounds. And it's a good idea to dip your cutter in some flour so it doesn't stick. These ones are the easiest ones to make, and the dough is just the perfect texture, which really makes it easy to work with. And you'll have your oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Place it on the middle rack. This will likely take between 9 and 10 minutes to bake. Now these will be light in color when they're done. They'll just be lightly browned underneath, but just make sure that the centers are not doughy or wet. I removed them from the cookie sheet and placed them on a wire rack to cool. This is a cookie recipe that remains soft naturally, so it's good to make sure that they're set well before you place them in an airtight container. And if you're going to freeze them, do that before decorating them. And here we're using a little bit more complicated cookie cutter. You can do that with this recipe too. And to be sure that it keeps its shape, sometimes a little trick is to cut the parchment paper and just put it on the cookie sheet like it is. There's no real need to pick the cookie up then. Or check this technique out. Keeping to simple shapes may work a little bit better because the cookie puffs up when it bakes. But having said that, I used a complicated one here, but I just used the outside shape. I didn't do the inside pieces that go with this cookie cutter, and it worked out quite well. So here's a recipe that you can use for frosting your cookies. It's a buttercream frosting, but I'll leave the decorating up to you. So if you're looking for a soft sugar cookie with buttercream frosting, just like you would get at a bakery or in the store, this may be the recipe you've been looking for. And thanks so much for liking and subscribing, and for watching the ads that support this channel. And I'm so excited my new cookbook is about to be released. It's actually been published on Amazon. This is the author's copy that I have here. But I will do a follow-up video to let you know when it's up for sale. Meanwhile, enjoy this recipe for sugar cookies, and happy eating!